I'm on the side of the Chiefs. Really blew an opportunity to have the 1 seed, and an opportunity that they had earned up at that point. Opportunity where they were up 28-14 on the road.
Welcome into the Tickets Basketball Postgame Show, featuring Derek Pearson and former Husker and 9-year NBA vet Eric Strickland.
Strickland for three. He's going to go out of here as the Big 8 tournament champion.
On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Huskers fall to 6-10. A terrible outing at Rutgers, 93-65. The Huskers fall. There'll be no polishing required. It was what it was. This is what my my college coach would call a turd burger. He goes, there's no point of trying to put lettuce and cheese and tomato on this one. We over me is the team's mantra. They need to go back to that. Go back to we is greater than me. I'm DP. No Strick today, no Bach. But me and Big Sky will get you through until 4 o'clock. Talk about this thing that was disappointing is the right way to put it. 402-464-5685. You guys can chime in on the Sartor Heyman text line, call in the Honda Lincoln hotline if you want to call in and vent. If you're going to vent, just, keep it radio friendly. Say what you got to say, but say it radio friendly. You can get on the text line. It's not much to text about it, truth be told. We know what it was. This was an afternoon where Huskers had the lead at 16-14. It looked like, okay, they came out, they had a plan, they were going to follow the plan, they were executing the plan. I want to preface all this by saying the Huskers had 3 days to prepare. They've been in New Jersey since their last home game, last road game. They went to East Lansing, and they went from East Lansing straight to New Jersey. They did not come back to Lincoln. So you had days to prepare for this thing. And preparation removes chaos. That is the sole purpose of preparation, is to remove chaos. You're not going to see anything that you haven't seen or prepared for in a game situation. What I would say is, again, you came out 16-14. At one moment in the game, it's 29-26, and then a run, 12-0 run, puts this game into dark, deep water. And it stayed there, and it got deeper, and it got darker along the way. Big Sky, thank you for sitting in today. What's your first reaction and response as a student of the university, or former student of the alumni of the university? What's your first take?
Well, I think we hit on it with our discussion there in the final couple minutes of the game. I kind of just had to finally ask you, as somebody who doesn't know basketball very well, this can't be what it's supposed to look like. And then we kind of went into it, and you broke down some of what the issues are. And I was like, well, it makes a little bit more sense now that it's not working out, because it's not what it's supposed to look like. And that is why they're not having success.
Yeah, I went through in full disclosure. So, as a coach, I've been in several situations where, as a matter of fact, most of the situations I walk into are ones where it's a bad situation. And you have to be a part of the recrafting and recreating, redirecting of the program, like the attitudes, the work ethic, sometimes the system, right? Sometimes it's all of those things. And the best way to do that is to raise the IQ of the people playing. The system is only as good as the player's understanding of it. Like, I'm a full proponent of not running plays versus teaching players how to play. And by breaking that down, running plays just mean you need to be in a certain spot at the same space, but then it doesn't tell you what to do once you get there. Teaching how to play gives you rules of engagement. If this, then that, right? And to have enough repetition for it that it happens. This group, and the base premise for what Fred Hoiberg wants to do with this offense, has to hit open jump shots. It has to make open jump shots. And notice that I didn't say open threes. I said open jump shots, because some analytics folks have taken a masterful basketball plan and turned it into this other thing where threes and layups are all there are. But that's not what always works in the Big Ten. Sometimes in the Big Ten, you need to adjust. You need to amend. You need to, you know what? I need to add a third level for you to have to defend. Big Sky, if I said that there are 2 spots on one court, there's 2 spots that you have to defend. On the other half court, there's 3 spots you have to defend. Big Sky, which court are you going to go defend on?
The one with less places to have to defend.
So when they say that the mid-range game is not a part of what this system does, it's not true. It's a part of how they're using it, but it's not true. Why? Because if you can't make threes, or you aren't making your threes, then you should be able to get to a higher percentage shot when they contest the three. Now, if you have 2 options after you defend the three, is it better than having 1 option when somebody can contest the three?
I totally missed the question there.
If there's 3 spots, there's the 3-point line, free throw line, rim. If there's 3 places for you to defend rather than 2 places for you to defend, which one's the easier way for me to attack you? 3 levels. All the time. All the time. If you only got to defend 2, you're a better defender. And if you only have to defend 1, you're pretty hard to beat. So Nebraska does not take mid-range game. They do not take those shots. They do not make 3-point shots. So now teams just have to defend the rim and the backboard. And that makes them so much better on a day-to-day basis. Game-by-game basis. Look, I want a day where, they do nothing but shoot threes and free throws.
Well, it makes sense hearing you say, break it down. Rutgers attacks from 3 layers, Nebraska attacks from 2 layers, because you watch the game and you almost feel like Rutgers is playing with an extra guy out there.
Yep.
And then you look at it, they're not playing with an extra guy, they're playing with an extra layer to their offense.
Yeah.
So again, a basketball illiterate mind, it makes sense. And like we discussed, there's a little bit of overlap in the way that hockey and basketball look in an artistic sense.
And in football.
Right.
And in football. Like, it's really simple. The rules for sports at an elite level, rule 1 is space equals offense, offense equals space. And I don't care what system you run in any sport of those 3, if the spacing is right and you have to defend more space, you are at a deficit. But Nebraska can't get people to defend 30 feet on a floor. They don't have to. They don't have to. And they put themselves in a box. Like, look, go through the drills. A couple of things I would do. And of course, Fred, Buzzy, everybody, y'all be mad at me later on. First thing I would do is go through it. I would change. Look, we're going to have layup contests every day. We're going to have 3-point shooting contests every day. Make it competitive. Every day. Free throws, competitive. I don't know if they're doing it. They may be doing it. It just doesn't show up on games day. But the practices I've been to, I can't say that. But if you're going to come out and not shoot threes, then you better have another level to how you attack people. And in the Big Ten, there's space. There is space, because a lot of times in the Big Ten, there are big dudes who don't want to go out to the perimeter. That's why you want to run this offense, because it makes big dudes run from there's a vertical line that goes from the front of the rim down to the floor. And from that line all the way out to the 3-point line, Nebraska should be able to wear out Big Ten bigs. They don't ask them to. They don't force them to. That's fine. Then make them defend from the point of that line from the front of the basket to the soft corner. 12 feet in either direction. Make them move. Make them move. Make them work. Make those wing defenders have to at least consider Derek Walker sneaking behind them. Right? At least make Rutgers defenders pay attention and stay connected to shooters while their eyes are in the wrong place looking at the ball. Because Nebraska doesn't punish teams who do not honor that. Like, if your eyes, let me tell you, Big Sky, if you defended me anywhere on the floor and your eyes go to the ball, wherever the ball is, it's my job. The easiest thing that I could do is go in a full sprint to the front of the rim. And if I know I'm going to the front of the rim from wherever I am on the floor before you do, I should beat you there. And then all I need is the ball. We don't do that. This team does not do that. There's also no threat. There's no threat to the three-pointer being meaningful. There's no threat, right? The things that we saw today were mind-blowing. We'll go to the text line. I appreciate you guys because we're all live, so we're going to take it. Texas says, at some point, DP, you have to call the coaching for what it is. I said this to Big Sky, and I'll say it again here. I'm not sure it's the coaching. I'm 100% positive it's the execution or lack thereof. Because I know what the system is supposed to look like. I showed Big Sky what I taught high school players who did not know how to play, who then went on to become state champions, how this thing is supposed to look. And to tell me that every high school that I've coached at has better shooters than Nebraska there's zero logic to that. But how they execute the shots is where this thing is bananas. Right? The guys on the clip, these weren't 6'4" wings, 6'7" wings. These are guys who guys in the gym who knew where their space was. They knew what their responsibility was. Hey, coach, I got an open jumper. Should I take it? You going to make it? Yes, sir. Cool. Take it. Hey, coach, this guy's over defending me. What should I do? Should I back cut? What's the rule? Well, if he comes too close, I need to back cut. Then back cut. Do I need permission? No. Who's your best friend? The guy with the ball. Who's his best friend? The guy who gave him the ball. None of that is in play with this group. I can guarantee you that the system that's in play is the correct system. Now, the players have to execute, and the coaches have to add accountability when you don't honor the system. And they've said, okay, you take bad shots, now we take you out. That doesn't address the problem. The problem is you didn't know what to do, even though we've gone over it. You didn't execute the thing that we practiced. And then you did a thing that wasn't beneficial to our mission, which is winning a basketball game. We need buckets, and we need to stop buckets. You know how to stop buckets? Because you know how to score them. And if they defend people the way they're defended, this team wouldn't average. You wouldn't give up 93 points in a game, 95 points a game. It just wouldn't happen.
I think Curtis's question on the text line is something that you kind of discussed a little bit while we were watching the game. There's a specific instance where someone took a bad shot and then played uncontrolled on defense. And it really typifies Curtis's question. What's more troubling, the lack of effort and commitment on defense or the lack of execution on offense?
Both. Both. It is a shot that was taken. And again, we can talk about the play rather than the player. But when you're facing Ron Harper Jr. and he's on one.
He was hot.
Like, he's on one. He's fully in his bag of tricks. So when you see him say, oh, Ron Harper Jr. is in his bag today, that means he's breaking out some, like, he's showcasing it. He goes, oh, you thought that was nice. Look, watch me pull this out my bag. So there's a player, Nebraska went down on offense, and he took an acrobatic shot in space and difficulty, which when a guard makes that move, he has to plant his foot after the shot. I don't care what the result of the shot is. Once he's taken the shot, he has a responsibility because he left Nebraska's bare end defense butt naked by being under their basket. He has to plant foot. The rule is simple. Take the shot, finish the shot, and then plant your foot, get in a horizontal line, at top speed. It is a sprint. That's why you run gassers. It's a full sprint from the baseline to the defensive side of the court, and then IQ kicks in, which is what's my mission. I've got to find my guy. I've got to so you defend basket, middle, man. Then it's once the ball's in play, then it's ball, middle, basket. That's the rule. He sprinted back, and he kind of sprinted back. He fake hustled back. It looked like he was hustling to get back to the right spot. But how I know that he didn't do the right thing and he wasn't in the right space was, if you have to identify the hottest, the player that puts you under the greatest amount of defensive duress, find him first. That was Ron Harper Jr. You know where he was? About 24 feet from the basket. And this player ran right by him deep into space. And as soon as he put his foot inside that threshold where a three-point shooter knows that he now has the green light and it's a go, and all of his teammates know go. Look, if he's out here beyond the three within a step and a half and his defender is below the threshold, there's a green light over his head that's flashing. Give him the ball. And they did. And he drained the three. A 5-point swing because a player made a decision and he double-dummed on the decision. Double-dumb is I do a bad thing, and then to compound it, I double-dumb. I go and do another dumb thing out of fake hustle. Somebody, they make a bad play and then they run and then they go and foul somebody because they're frustrated that things didn't go their way. That sort of emotional immaturity can't exist in Big Ten basketball.
I think it doesn't belong in any sport, in any level, but that's just a personal opinion.
Right. Right. Like to go through that. Now, I don't. So Kool-Aid Man says, well, you can't win with a bunch of prima donnas. Did you see Rutgers today? That was full-on prima donna. That was full-on peacock strut. You know why? Because they were balling out. They just beat Michigan. Right? And then they said people are questioning us because we had a bad start themselves. They had a bad start. And they were being judged, and people were picking at them. They're like, no, that's not who we are. And we told you who we are. And now we're showing. So they went full peacock.
Certainly doesn't help that there are some sports writers in Lincoln that were predicting a Nebraska victory today. And so we got a little bit of bulletin board material for Rutgers going on.
Well, here's the thing. Everybody is supposed to say what they say. In the end, execution is what wins. Like, we can all talk it. We can all strut it. But if you're going to strut, you better win. Like, them's the rules. And so that prima donna aspect of it, I agree with. Don't strut until you win. Like, until you win on a regular basis, put your strut away. You'll have time to strut if you get it right over a consistent basis. That's not what's happening here. People are strutting and not playing. They're not performing. They're not executing. And that's what's problematic to me. That's extremely. John and Court, afternoon, DP. Afternoon, John. That was a show. Yes, it was. Backside defensive boards, defense period. Anyone going to block someone out? That number, it was 9-1 offensive rebounds at one point where I stopped looking at the stat because I knew what it was. He goes on to say, if I was opposing coach, I would post up a guard. Thank you, Mr. Porter. Stop dropping threes. We'll probably more of the same, unfortunately. Yeah, here's the thing. Leadership is vital. Vital. And this team's leadership is still not in place. Its identity is not in place. You can't say you're a team of dogs without your lead dog. No, you are a team with a lead dog. There's a difference. There's a difference. Oh, you got a dog to lead you, but you are not a team of dogs.
Is that a failure from one individual to grab that leadership, or is it a failure to lead correctly?
Leadership can be taught. It can be coached. It can be exampled. I'm just not sure. So Derek Walker is currently the lead on this team, and his effort shows it. He's not the loudest talker. He's not the big talker. He's not a peacock or strut. That's not his deal. But what they need is a barking dog to complement. You know how you have the little stud dog that barks and everybody runs from him, but there's always some big cat standing behind him quietly, just holding it down. Well, now it's just the big dude standing there with a frown on his face. Efforting, he's ready to fight, but he don't have his lead dog with him. This team needs Trey McGowan's back. But that's not going to fix the problem of what they showed today, because today was I'm not in the right place. I'm not on time. I'm not going to complete the mission. Each possession is a mission. I've said it about football. I've said it about basketball. There is not enough urgency in these possessions. See, if I treat this possession as my last possession, my most important possession, I'm giving myself a chance to win. But if I play like the possession doesn't matter, that means there are going to be a bunch of possessions that don't matter. And that is frightening to me. Like, that's frightening to me. And so it showed out today. That's what it was. There's no other way to put it. So we'll go through the numbers. Casey says this. What's up, TP? What's up, Casey? I'm guessing this isn't what you saw in preseason and going to practice. Correct. 100% correct. Seemed too good to be true. I said that look, I was stunned by what I saw in practice. The NBA scouts who came to the combine day said the very same thing, that they all sat in amazement. Look, this was a day when Trevor Lakes went 11 for 14 from 3. Casey made 6 consecutive threes in a scrimmage.
I remember that day. You were buzzing in the office.
Right. And I came through and I said, wait a minute. I know that they have the pieces, and I stick by that they have the pieces. What's missing is urgency and recall. Accountability is necessary. Like when you look at good Nebraska programs, accountability is there. Volleyball, listen, you've got Lexi Sun, who's one of the greatest players in the country, who was held accountable by these young freshmen who came in and pushed her every single day, to the point where if you're not going to do what John Cook needs for you to do, I got this one right here that's ready to take your job and will handle and will execute. And people question that about you. Well, why would you play these young freshmen? This is not a good look. Well, because he had a much bigger mission and a greater task, which was to get to the NCAA finals. You watch it in women's basketball. Listen, if Sam Hybe isn't having a day, Jazz Shelley takes it over, and then she goes and gets, hey, Allison Weiner, come here. I need your energy right now. Got you, coach. Nicole Caton, you're a veteran. I'm going to put you at the end of the bench, but when I put you in the game, I need for you to wreck stuff. Got you, coach. Onyx Stewart, one of the best big girl shooters in the country, right? In several programs, she would be a feature. And she accepts her minutes, and then she comes in and puts work. As a matter of fact, what she did was she improved. She got better in the postgame so she could get extra minutes to shoot threes. It's missing in this current edition of the Husker basketball team.
Well, and as Strick told us yesterday on the block, the most valuable thing you can do as a basketball player is the job that you're expected to do.
And the shooters aren't doing that. The rebounders aren't doing that. The defenders aren't doing that. So we'll throw it a break. More post-game when we come back.
And now more Straight Talk from Straight Talk. The big wireless companies say they're the only way to get the best coverage.
Because they've got like a cajillion cell towers?
Something like that. But Straight Talk Wireless runs on those same towers, so you get the same great networks for up to 50% less.
I wonder if they're counting that one in Kickapoo, Kansas.
Oh boy. Switch today and get our unlimited plan for just $45 a month with 25 gigs at high speeds and no contract. Straight Talk Wireless, no contract, no compromise.
Savings may vary. See straighttalk.com.
Allstate now has deeper savings, and deeper savings require deep thoughts and a deep voice, like mine. Save for being a new customer. Save more for adding DriveWise, and save even more for driving safely. Visit Allstate.com or contact your local agent for a quote today. As someone once said, saving today is money tomorrow. That's deep.
Not available in every state. New customer savings based on early signing discount. Drive-bys is an optional feature. Savings vary based on how you buy. Subject to terms and conditions. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Northbrook, Illinois.
You want to feel important. You want to be a part of something bigger, something that matters and can help change things. You want to feel like you belong. We know. We felt that way too. And that's why we did something about it. We aren't just Army National Guard soldiers. We are normal people just like you. And together, we can make a difference. Take on your legacy. Visit NationalGuard.com to find out more.
Sponsored by the Nebraska Army National Guard. Aired by the Nebraska Broadcasters Association at this station.
As an 18-year-old, I let my mistakes kind of take over my life. I was 0.5 credits away from completing high school, and I didn't do it.
10 years later, at age 28, Jackie finished her high school diploma.
When I found out that I was pregnant, I know that I had to do something for myself if I wanted to make her a better person and provide a better life for her. My family never stopped pushing for me to be better because they knew what I could become and who I could become as a person. My support team is amazing. The educational director, my sister, and even my 7-year-old daughter has just been more than the support that I could ask for. I've been given an opportunity, and I'm just thankful for it.
No one gets a diploma alone. If you're thinking of finishing your high school diploma, you have help. Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org. That's finishyourdiploma.org. Brought to you by the Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ad Council.
This is how we do every day. We be grinding, and if you wanna come and test us,
if you love them enough to turn off your music and pretend like their music is your music.
This is Mommy's jam.
Then surely you'll check nhtsa.gov/the right seat to make sure they're in the right car seat.
Let's play it again.
Check today at nhtsa.gov/the right seat. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
Back to the Tickets Basketball Postgame Show, featuring Derek Pearson and former Husker and 9-year NBA vet, Eric Strickland, on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome back. Postgame show. Huskers fall 93-65 to Rutgers. Rutgers is on a roll. They're on a roll, and on a night where if Ron Harper is going to perform like that every night, everybody needs to buckle up when they face Rutgers. Like Michigan figured that out. Harper was exceptional. Geo Baker did all the little things in space. Mulcahy gave them almost triple-double night. They were exceptional off the bench. Their first 4 players off the bench were 12 for 18. 12 for 18. For the Huskers, led by Bryce McGowan. And I'm not mad at his performance. Like I said, sometimes you in a battle, you in a gang fight, you can't be out there swinging by yourself. Just you and your knife. You need some help. Derek Walker gave him 12 points, 6 rebounds. C.J. Wilcher with 11 off the bench, 4 of 6 shooting, 2 of 4 from 3. Casey was 2 of 5 from 3. Bryce was 1 of 2. 0 for 2 for Lat Mayen, 0 for 1 for Kobe Webster, 0 for 1 for Eduardo Andre. Couple of things. I think we're at the point, and I'm one of those people that I have respect for the other stuff that Lat Mayen does for Nebraska, especially when you're not the biggest, longest, strongest team in the Big Ten, that Lat throws himself on the grenade quite a bit defensively. Like he expends a lot of energy defensively that sometimes get written off because of the offensive numbers. I mean, I'm just going to let you know, the greatest plus-minus for the Huskers today was Lat Mayen. He and Derek Walker, -3, -4.
No, DP, that does not fit my anti-Lat Mayen narrative. No.
Like, I look at it like this. Like, I would want Lat on my team, and I want Lat to get minutes. My question is that should he start? Can this Nebraska team compete offensively in the Big Ten with Lat Mayen taking 4 shots and going 0 for 2 from 3? Like, I don't think that is a good recipe for success.
It wasn't a good recipe today.
Right? Like, it just, when he got his third foul early, they were competitive. It was 29-26 when Lat was in the game and he picked up his third foul. And then he goes to the bench and whoop.
Both Derek and Lat got into foul trouble early.
Right. Like, it's just not going to happen. So then it's Eduardo Andre and CJ Wilcher. I think, for the sake of this thing, and there are things that each player can fix about their current game. The question is, are they willing to be mature enough to do so? Are you mature enough to be coached? Like, think about it this way. I know that they miss Trey because Trey fills a lot of empty areas. They miss Breidenbach. Like, this would have been a great Breidenbach game. You missed a guy who at least will rebound, contest defensively in short space. You missed those two. Like, that's important. But that's not excuse enough, because the players who played did not do the things that they were brought here to do. Now, we're not mad at Derek Walker for his 12 points, 6 rebounds. Like, before the season starts, if we say, hey, Derek Walker's going to lead the Big Ten in shooting percentage, everybody would throw their confetti in the air and say, well done, right? He's shooting at a high level. He's given us a couple of 16-point games. Like, oh, we're getting the best version of Derek Walker that they are helping him achieve. Derek Walker should be a 20-point, 10-rebound guy, simply because on offense he's put in a position where he can be successful, and defensively he is allowed to be the glass cleaner instead of the defensive quarterback. Right? That he has to cover other people's mistakes. And they don't have Trey to verbalize and be that defensive audible guy out loud. They missed that. Look, I can tell you that is a big deal. But the shooting, it's weird to me. It's really weird to me. They were 6 of 18 from 3. But when the threes were made matter, right? When you make the threes, you're making them in the first half when it matters. You're making them down the stretch. Same for free throws. I know you're making them in the middle of the game, but can you make them when the clock matters? Right? And let's still not bury the lead that if this team makes free throws in three games in the final 30 seconds, they're 9-6, and we're having a different conversation. Or 9-8 at least, or 9-7. But we can't even have that discussion.
It's been the story of the Fred Hoiberg era. Really, what you're getting at is there's a lot of production in the middle, or when maybe it's not as needed, and then free throws have cost them a couple of games late that they could have won, and otherwise we'd be singing a different tune.
I have to be careful how I say this. So John Thompson used to say that end of game free throws require a steady sphincter. And Nebraska hasn't figured out how to finish games. Now, they haven't always figured out how to stay in games. But I think the narrative is different if they've figured out how to close. And they haven't figured out how to close. Boxing out, I mean, you can't give up 9 offensive rebounds to anybody. Look, it's been worse. There have been 13, 14 offensive rebound games. Today's offensive rebound number, they were down 9-4. That's still too many. The rules of engagement are the stats matter if you lose. They do not matter if you win, because the numbers will always tell you what you need to know. The loss thing, this is a teaching board for Fred Hoiberg. That, listen, Lat, we need more. I know we're asking for a lot, but we need more. Okay. Keisei, we're asking too much of you. We're asking too much of Keisei Tamanaga for right now. 2 years from now, not an issue. Right now, that dude just got here. And he's undersized and often defending Big Ten wing players.
Last time this guy played basketball before Nebraska is 3-on-3 in the Olympics, which is a completely different game than what he's doing right now.
Right, to understand what it is. We're asking a lot of Alonzo Verge, but so his assist was 2-1 tonight. That's kind of what the range that we come to expect. 2 of 7, didn't take a ton of shots, right? He had 7 shot attempts and 4 assists. But his impact on the game would have been a great day for him defensively to add more. Look, this team going forward, and again, they get no breaks and they get no sympathy, right? People are rooting for this team. They have the opportunity to fix things. But guess what? An angry, oversized, athletic Illinois team is coming into Lincoln on Tuesday night. Kofi cares not about your health and your issue. Kofi's coming. And he's bringing of angry Fighting Illini. So, opportunity for Nebraska to redefine their roles, responsibility, and accountability. There can be no shutting of the gym doors this week. When this Husker team gets back tonight, the shooting machine should be on until Tuesday morning. The room can never go dark.
I can get you into the Devaney Center if you'd like. My end card still provides access if you want to go in there. We can pull them off the bus.
The thing is that they let me into practices. So because and look, I'm not writing off folks rooting for this team. Root for this team. Like they're not that far away.
Well, we've seen it in games against NC State where they're close.
Well, I just said that for football fans. Like like you are what you are. You're 6-10. And that means you're making 6 and 10 decisions. You're being effective at 6 and 10 levels. You're all of those things. All the truth behind it is you haven't figured out how to win games that you should win. And you haven't figured out how to stay close in games that maybe you shouldn't. But there's an opportunity to get right. Remember, to stay in the same lane would be awful. Don't rush Trey McGowan's to come back to keep you from going 6 and 15 rather than 8 and 12. Let that dude come back when he's ready. And then when he does come back, use him in a way that's beneficial to the other players on the floor. And then let those dudes fight for him. Like if they're not going to fight for Trey McGowan's, then I was way wrong about the makeup of this team and this roster. And the coaching staff. Like I think it's going to happen, but today was not pretty. So I'm not going to polish the turd burger for anybody. I'm not going to do it. It was terrible. It was terrible. And so I didn't even look at Fred's postgame. I didn't even look at it. I didn't look for notes. I didn't go through it. What I knew from what I saw was that they had opportunities to do some things right today. And for 15 minutes, they did the right thing. For the other 25, nah, not so much. Not so much. So we'll set up Illinois Tuesday, 7:30 tip. We'll set that up. PBA, we'll talk about that. We'll go through the numbers for the Huskers. And then we'll say our piece. And again, for you guys in the text on, you guys and girls on the text on, thank you very much for joining. It's not easy to post up when things aren't going right. And you guys are still posting up. And I appreciate that for you guys coming to hang out with us after a loss like this. You are all of Kool-Aid Man, Casey, John, all you guys. You appreciate Faisal. You appreciate it, man. You appreciate it. You really are. Toward the break, we'll close out post-game show when we come back.
Happy Hour with Nick Sainert and Enrique Alvarez-Clary.
The likelihood that you're going to have a guy that's as talented or even a step up from what you shipped away in Adrian Martinez, right? That's slim. You're going to have to conform your offense, your game plan to this quarterback, and this quarterback and all those guys on that offensive side of the ball are going to have to buy in this season. And that's one thing, right, is that this coaching staff has to relay that message that there is no choice.
Yeah.
You're either bought in or we're going to do this thing without you.
Weekdays from 2 to 3 on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. In every office, there's two types of people. There are those who bring in bagels and those who eat the bagels that someone else brought in. Everybody likes the first person. Be that first person. Weekday mornings at 7:30, you have a chance to win a business box of bagels from Bagels & Joe. All you have to do is shut up, Sipple. 2 questions for you, 2 for Sip. Win, and the bagels are yours. Lose, well, you don't want to lose.
You lost Monday, you lost Wednesday, you're a loser.
Shut up, Sipple. Weekday mornings at 7:30, brought to you by Bagels & Joe.
Now what do? Football is over. The weather's crappy. Man, I tell you what, it's a perfect time to go car shopping. This is Carl from Price Right Auto. Come out to Price Right in Westo, and you'll find over 100 great vehicles at some great prices. With our non-commissioned sales process, we let you control the sale. We won't let you get a lemon since we back every one of our vehicles with our Peace of Mind 3-month warranty. If you want a hassle-free car buying experience, check out our website, PriceRightAuto.com. Come see a great selection of affordable used cars on Westo Street at Price Right Auto.
1 in 3 adults has prediabetes. 1 in 3. That means it could be you, your football buddy, your football buddy, or you, your best man, your worst man, you, your dog walker, your cat jogger. While 1 in 3 adults has prediabetes, with early diagnosis, prediabetes can be reversed. Take the risk test at doihaveprediabetes.org. That's doihaveprediabetes.org.
Wait, did they just say 1 in 3 adults has prediabetes? That's 33.33333% of adults. That means it could be me, my boss, or my boss's boss, or me, my favorite sister, or my other sister. That's 7 members of my 21-person romantic book club. Wait, the 1 in 3 could be me, my karaoke partner Carol, or my karaoke enemy Jeff. I'm going to take the risk test at doihaveprediabetes.org.
Brought to you by the Ad Council and its Prediabetes Awareness Partners.
Back to the Tickets Basketball Postgame Show, featuring Derek Pearson and former Husker and 9-year NBA vet, Eric Strickland, on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
I am thankful for Big Sky coming in, stepping up for Bach and Strick. We get through this one. I'm going to announce this because I think we need to make it happen. We have the opportunity to, and if you guys are interested in, you can simply tell us on the text line or on social media, let us know. Would you be interested in a women's basketball post-game show? Do we want to track and follow that team through this season?
It's not that we're not already following them. It's just,
do we want to have a meeting place where folks who want to come and talk about, good basketball? So let us know. Reach out on the text line. Just go ahead and put it in the text line. Yes, no. And we'll make it work. Reach out on social media. Hey, yeah, I'd love to hear more about the women's basketball team. We're going to have plenty with, Huskers baseball and Huskers wrestling along the way. Of course, Grapplers had a tough night last night. They had 4 of their starting wrestlers go down. And so the 4 replacements came in. They battled they lost 18-15 to Purdue, mainly off the backs of some major losses from some of the replacements early on. They also, look, that's a really good team. That's a top 25 team. So they came in and handled their business. But Mark Manning, he's got a group. They'll be fine. But yeah, let us know if you want us to cover the same thing, right? And then we'll gather. Of course, we got to figure out how to pay for it, but we'll figure that out along the way and get some sponsorship for it. But we've got some ladies that want to be a part of this, and I think, John, I think it's a pretty good idea, right? So we'll work on that. Maybe not for tomorrow, but maybe for next week. Maybe we'll be able to do that next week. Big Sky means more work for you, more stuff for you to do.
Well, as I've told everyone, I have nothing to do now that I've graduated from college. So
truer words have never been spoken.
Busy in college, no longer busy, no college.
Right. So we'll get you more work and put you to work. I think that's fantastic. You worked on a demo today. Talk to me.
Oh, well, we just brought in some track guys. Familiar names if you were listening to my fill-in earlier in December when Terrence was out. Garrison Hughes, Michael Hoffer, pole vaulter, high jumper, both guys who have been at Nebraska for 3 years now, came in the same class as I did. They were actually my roommates my freshman year. Garrison's from my hometown, so I know him incredibly well. But two guys who are really high level track athletes, have been around the track, collegiate track sport. I'm not going to say game because that sounds weird for track,
Right.
but they've been around it for a while now. They've been to nationals and they've competed against the best of the best. They were both high school prodigies who were tabbed early on and got looks from a lot of schools. So just two guys that I wanted to bring on. And other than just being athletes, they're just really funny dudes, really great guys. They're not just jocks. They have a lot of interest outside of the track, and I wanted to bring light to just these two really cool guys.
So we'll look at their schedule and see if we can make that work to give some more coverage to it. Of course, we've got gymnastics covered. We've got football covered. We got men's basketball, women's basketball. I think not only to have a post-game show, but to have a weekly show with two of the young ladies, and we should be able to push that button pretty quickly. We do have an announcement to make that 93.7 The Ticket and Teammates Mentoring have reached an agreement where they will have a weekly show Wednesday nights from 6 to 7 to talk about mentoring and the journey, the motivation by Tom Osborne and his wife about how this came about and ways to reach people in this space and to use this station as a vehicle to do so. So mentor engagement, identifying future mentors and mentorees. We're going to do that, and I'm looking forward to that. That will begin this Wednesday, 6 to 7 o'clock here on 93.7 Ticket. Of course, we've talked with Mark Manning. He will have a weekly show here as well. I think we're going to go Tuesday night with that. We know the baseball guys are back this week. That's going to be exceptional. Swim and dive team. I love what they're doing. Man, that's going to be fun. So we're going to expand and highlight more Husker athletics, whether it be through current Huskers, former Huskers, and then the coaches that are either past or present with the University of Nebraska. So we'll do that again. Not the best way to close a Saturday. A 93-65 loss to Rutgers. The ladies play tomorrow at PBA. Find your way over there. We won't have a post-game show for it this week, but even forward, leave a note on the text line or reach out to me or Big Sky on social media and let us know that you are in full support of a women's basketball post-game show, and we will effort to make it happen for you. Big Sky, any last thoughts?
Well, even if we're not going to do a post-game show, but we're always talking about any Husker sports on Twitter. So just join the discussion in there, get in our mentions, get in our replies, and start talking Huskers with us.
There it is. You guys have a great weekend. We'll wish for better results tomorrow. Go Big Red.